All right, so you gotta start out and you gotta pick a good YouTube video. And then you get your meat and your carrots and onions and celery, and you put it in there, right? And you put the meat in first, and then you put the veg in, and then you cook your rice. You put 1-to-1 ratio of rice to water, and then you boil it, and then you put it on low, and then you put it for 20 minutes on low, and then you cook up the meat and stuff, and then you take the meat and it's looking good, and then you add the potatoes and you stir that bad boy up, and you gotta make sure it's coated well. You put the potatoes in when everything's starting to look like it should have potatoes. So use your feelings and get it nice and stirred up. And then you take this, and this is curry. So take it, and then you shave it on a grater so that it's good. And then you take your boiling water, and then you take your water and you run over to and then you pour it in, and you splash some and you spill, and then you pour just enough where it barely covers all the potatoes. So now we got it barely covered. Boom, got it, done. So now we stir it up and we're cooking it, and we're gonna wait until the rice the first part of the rice is done. So you're gonna stir and stir some more, and then you keep stirring. And so now we're at 11 minutes on the clock, and then boom, we're done. Haha. So we're gonna turn off the rice, and then we're gonna set the timer for another 20 minutes. What's that? So that it can steam and process. So now we're gonna go over, we're gonna take our curry powder, and we're gonna just dump it in. And so we dump it in, and then we gotta stir it up. So you stir it up, and you make you gotta make sure that it's evenly coated. There's no clumps, because you don't want clumps in your curry. So you keep going and you keep stirring and make sure it's even. And then the timer's done for the rice, which means that we gotta fluff up the rice. So we get our little guy. There it is. Yeah. So we get our guy and we fluff up the rice, and we fluff it up. And now the curry is pretty much done also. So we just gotta keep fluffing this guy up, and then we can check on the curry in right about now. So we put that down, and then we're just gonna grab a fork, and we know the curry is done when we can stab a potato really easily and it just slides off the fork. So we're gonna try to slide it, bang, boom, boom, there you go, and then boom, there's curry. We got curry. It's delicious.